340 Chinese ballistic missiles launched simultaneously, 89 American warships detected in strike zones, 15,400 sailors aboard USS Ronald Reagan carrier group under attack. What was decades of tension just became active warfare when someone decided Taiwan worth any cost, including great power conflict. First shots fired, escalation unstoppable, Pacific War beginning. At 2:47 a.m., multiple zones across Western Pacific and Taiwan Strait. Chinese People's Liberation Army launches Operation Sacred Reunion. Not exercise, not intimidation, full-scale invasion, 78 warships, 56,000 amphibious troops, 670 aircraft, 340 ballistic missiles targeting American bases and carriers. Everything China prepared for decades, all committed simultaneously. Point of no return crossed, war started. American intelligence detected Chinese preparations 72 hours prior. Satellite imagery showed amphibious loading. Submarines tracked fleet departures. Electronic warfare intercepted communications. Warnings transmitted Taiwan and allies. USS Ronald Reagan Group positioned 280 miles east Taiwan. USS Carl Vinson 230 miles southeast. USS Abraham Lincoln 390 miles south. 3 carrier strike groups, 267 aircraft, 23 destroyers, 9 cruisers, 12 submarines. Massive American presence. Deterrence failed. Fighting starting. Taiwan mobilized emergency. 150,000 active military. Another 2 million reservists called. But mobilization takes hours. Invasion force lands before full strength deployed. Taiwan defending with whatever forces ready immediately. Americans committed to intervention. Mutual defense unclear legally, but politically committed. Japanese bases hosting American forces. South Korean ports supporting logistics. Australian ships deploying. Coalition forming rapidly. China gambling on quick victory before coalition fully mobilized. What's your prediction? Type A for Chinese quick victory. Type B for American intervention stops invasion. Type C for prolonged bloody stalemate. At 2:47 a.m., Chinese DF-21D and DF-26 missiles launch. 340 missiles total, targeting American carriers, Guam Air Base, Okinawa facilities, Yokosuka Naval Base, saturation attack, overwhelmed defenses, strategic strike meant to cripple American response before amphibious operations begin. Flight time, 8 to 12 minutes depending on range. American Aegis systems detect launches immediately. Battle stations, defense preparation, interceptors ready. If you want to understand modern great power war reality, hit that subscribe button now. USS Ronald Reagan Group activates defense. SM-3 interceptors engage at long range. 34 missiles destroyed exoatmospheric. SM-6 engages at medium range. 28 missiles destroyed. SM-2 engages terminal phase. 19 missiles destroyed. Total, 81 Chinese missiles intercepted. 259 survive. They impact at 2:59 a.m. USS Ronald Reagan takes 3 DF-21D hits. Flight deck penetrated. 89 sailors killed. 167 wounded. Carrier mission killed. Not sinking but cannot conduct air operations. Massive damage. USS Abraham Lincoln takes 2 hits. Similar damage. 67 killed. 123 wounded. Also mission killed. USS Carl Vinson evades 4 missiles. Takes 1 hit. 34 killed. 78 wounded. Damaged but operational. 3 carriers hit. 2 mission killed. American naval power seriously degraded in first 12 minutes. Chinese first strike partially successful. Guam Air Base receives 45 ballistic missiles. Patriot batteries intercept 28. 17 impact. Runways cratered. Hangars destroyed. 12 B-52 bombers damaged. 56 Air Force personnel killed. 134 wounded. Base operational capability reduced 60%. Okinawa receives 34 missiles. 23 intercepted. 11 impact. F-15 squadron damage. 45 killed. 89 wounded. Yokosuka receives 28 missiles. 19 intercepted. 9 impact. Port facilities damaged. 34 Navy personnel killed. American forward bases degraded significantly. Chinese missile strike achieves strategic surprise despite warnings. Damage substantial. Subscribe to see how great power war escalates beyond anyone's control within hours. American retaliation immediate and overwhelming. At 3:12 a.m., surviving carrier aircraft launch. USS Carl Vinson launches 40 F-18 Super Hornets, armed with LRASM anti-ship missiles, targeting Chinese amphibious fleet approaching Taiwan. Submarines fire Tomahawk missiles, 89 missiles total from 6 boats, targeting Chinese coastal missile batteries. B-2 bombers from Diego Garcia, 8 aircraft, 640 J-dime bombs, targeting Chinese command centers. Retaliation comprehensive. Chinese amphibious fleet detected 140 miles from Taiwan coast. 78 warships, Type 0-171 landing ships, Type 0-5 assault carriers, Type 0-52D destroyers escorting. 56,000 troops aboard. They continue approaching despite American carrier damage, counting on overwhelming American defenses through numbers. Americans preparing reception. At 3:34 a.m., American F-18s launch LRASM missiles, 80 missiles total. They approach Chinese fleet at wavetop level. Autonomous targeting. Chinese fleet activates defense. HQ-10 point defense fires. Type 1130 CIWS engages. They intercept 34 missiles, 46 survive. Impact Chinese fleet at 3:47 a.m. Type 071 ships, 4 hit, 2 sinking, 2 heavily damaged. Type 075, 2 hit, 1 sinking. Type 052D, 3 hit, 1 sinking. Smaller amphibious craft, 12 hit, most sinking. Chinese amphibious capability reduced 28% single strike. 6,700 Chinese troops dead, drowned in sinking ships. Another 4,200 wounded. Equipment losses, 89 tanks. 234 armored vehicles. American strike effective, but Chinese fleet continues. Still 49,000 troops approaching Taiwan. Give this video a like if you appreciate realistic analysis of modern naval warfare between superpowers. Taiwan Coastal Defense activates. Xiongfeng III anti-ship missiles launch. 67 missiles from mobile launchers. Range 150 kilometers. Targeting Chinese ships 80 kilometers out. Chinese fleet intercepts 34 missiles, 33 hit targets. Type 072 landing ships, 8 hit, 6 sinking. Frigates, 3 hit, 1 sinking. Chinese losses mounting. Another 2,300 troops dead, 3,400 wounded. But invasion force pushes through casualties. 46,700 troops still approaching. Determination despite losses. National pride overriding tactical caution. At 4:12 a.m., Chinese aircraft launch massive strike. 234 J-15 carrier fighters, 89 J-16 multi-role fighters, 45 H-6K bombers carrying anti-ship missiles. Total, 368 aircraft, targeting Taiwan air defenses and remaining American ships. Taiwan responds. 78 F-16V fighters scramble, 34 indigenous defense fighters. American F-18s from Vinson engage. 40 aircraft. Air combat erupts across Taiwan Strait. Largest air battle since World War II. 480 aircraft engage simultaneously. First air combat at 4:34 a.m. Chinese J-15s engage Taiwanese F-16s. PL-15 missiles fired at maximum range. 89 missiles toward 34 Taiwanese fighters. Taiwanese execute evasion. Electronic countermeasures, 67 missiles miss, 22 hit, 16 Taiwanese F-16s destroyed. Catastrophic losses, but Taiwanese return fire. AIM-120D missiles, 34 missiles toward 56 Chinese J-15s. 8 Chinese fighters destroyed, 3 damaged. Exchange ratio 2-to-1 favoring China. Numbers advantage decisive in beyond visual range combat. American F-18s engage Chinese J-16s. 40 American versus 89 Chinese. Outnumbered but technologically superior. AIM-120D missiles outrange PL-15 slightly. Americans fire first. 60 missiles. 23 Chinese J-16s destroyed. 8 damage. Chinese return fire. 112 missiles. Americans evade expertly. 89 missiles miss. 23 hit. 17 American F-18s destroyed. 4 damage. Exchange ratio 1.3-to-1 favoring America. Training quality compensating numerical disadvantage partially. This is comprehensive great power conflict analysis. Make sure you're subscribed. H-6K bombers fire anti-ship missiles. 180 YJ-12 supersonic missiles targeting remaining American and Taiwanese ships. USS Carl Vinson activates defense. SM-6 missiles engage. 34 missiles destroyed. SM-2, 28 destroyed. CRAM, 19 destroyed. Phalanx, 38 destroyed. Total 119 intercepted, 61 survive. Vinson takes 4 hits. Severe damage. Listing, abandoned ship ordered. 134 sailors killed, 267 wounded. Carrier sinking. Taiwanese destroyers take 12 hits. 3 destroyed, 2 heavily damaged. 456 Taiwanese sailors killed. American carrier power eliminated. Chinese airstrike successful despite heavy aircraft losses. By 5 a.m., August 4th, 2 hours war, situation critical. American casualties, 524 sailors killed, 912 wounded, 3 carriers mission killed or sinking, 28 aircraft destroyed. Chinese casualties, 12,200 troops killed, 7,600 wounded, 23 warships sunk, 43 aircraft destroyed. Taiwan casualties, 472 military killed, 890 wounded, 16 aircraft destroyed. Exchange ratios favor America tactically, but Chinese achieve strategic objective. Amphibious force approaching Taiwan beaches despite losses. 44,400 troops still aboard, invasion proceeding. At 5:23 a.m., first Chinese troops land Taiwan beaches. Northern Taiwan, 3 landing zones. ZBD-05 amphibious vehicles emerge. Type 96 tanks follow. 12,000 troops assault beaches first wave. Taiwanese defenders engage immediately. M60 tanks, TOW missiles, infantry with anti-tank weapons. Beach defenses exactly as trained. Chinese take heavy casualties. 2,340 killed first 30 minutes, but continue pushing. Numbers overwhelming local defenses. By 6 a.m., Chinese control 3 beachheads, 9,600 troops ashore, 67 tanks operational, 178 armored vehicles. Beachheads shallow, vulnerable, but established. Share this analysis with anyone trying to understand Great Power War reality. American B-2 bombers arrive at 6:12 a.m. 8 aircraft, 640 JDAM bombs total, targeting Chinese beachheads. Bombs devastate exposed troops and equipment. 1,390 Chinese troops killed, 2,670 wounded, 23 tanks destroyed, 56 armored vehicles wrecked. But Chinese reinforcements continue landing. Second wave, 18,000 troops approaching beaches. Americans cannot stop invasion alone. Need coalition, need time, need political will sustaining losses. Japanese response immediate. Prime Minister declares Chinese aggression threatens Japan directly. Self-defense forces activate. F-15 fighters deploy. Destroyers steam toward Taiwan, but commitment limited. Constitution restricts offensive operations. Can defend Japan. Cannot invade China. Support role only. Intelligence sharing, logistics support, base access. Meaningful but not decisive militarily. South Korean response cautious, fears North Korean opportunism, but allows American forces using Korean bases. B-1 bombers deploy Osan, tankers position Kunsan, logistics support granted. Military forces stay defensive. Peninsula security priority over Taiwan. Australian response committed. ANZUS treaty obligations. Submarines deploy. P-8 surveillance aircraft. Ships heading north, but weeks away physically. Symbolic now, material later. Coalition forming, but slowly. Chinese bet on quick victory before coalition fully engaged appears wise tactically. If you made it this far, you understand great power war dynamics. Like subscribe, hit that bell. At 8 a.m., Chinese forces control beachheads totaling 34 square kilometers. 27,600 troops ashore, 89 tanks, 267 armored vehicles. Taiwanese counterattacks fail. Outnumbered locally. Chinese air superiority established temporarily. American carriers neutralized. Taiwan alone cannot repel invasion. Needs American reinforcements. But American forces degraded. Carriers damaged. Bases struck. Forward deployment compromised. American strategic decision point arrives. Option 1, escalate dramatically. Strike Chinese mainland with conventional weapons. Destroy ports, airfields, command centers. Risk Chinese escalation to nuclear weapons. Option 2. Accept Taiwan loss. Avoid direct China escalation. Preserve American forces. Admit defeat politically. Option 3. Limited engagement. Support Taiwan defensively. Avoid Chinese mainland strikes. Hope Chinese exhaust themselves. Seek negotiated settlement. Chinese strategic decision points simultaneous. Continue invasion. Risk American escalation. Potential nuclear exchange. Or accept beachhead. Declare victory. Negotiate settlement. Avoid further American intervention. Both sides face terrible choices. War dynamics escape control rapidly. What started as Taiwan invasion becomes great power showdown. Nuclear powers engage directly. Escalation risks enormous. Economic impact immediate and global. Taiwan semiconductor production offline. TSMC facilities intact but operations impossible during invasion. Global electronics industry faces shutdown. Oil prices spike $280 per barrel. Strait of Malacca traffic suspended. Insurance costs prohibitive. Stock markets crash. Asian markets down 34%. European down 28%. American down 23%. Global recession beginning. Economic interdependence becomes strategic vulnerability. Nobody wins economically regardless of military outcome. The war over Taiwan reveals great power conflict reality. Not like World War II, technology changed everything. Precision missiles strike carriers. Information warfare shapes operations. Space assets enable targeting. Cyber attacks disrupt command. Nuclear weapons deter escalation but create stalemate risks. Geography favors China short-term. Logistics favor America long-term. Political will determines endurance. Economic costs astronomical. Military victory possible for neither side without unacceptable risks. Stalemate likely unless someone accepts humiliation or risks everything. Taiwan's survival depends on American commitment. American commitment depends on domestic political will. Political will depends on casualties acceptable. Casualties mounting rapidly. Public support untested under losses. Chinese gambling, American public quits before Chinese military exhausts. American gambling, Chinese economy collapses before American will breaks. Both gambles high stakes. Both could lose. Taiwan suffers regardless. Great power war begun. Outcome uncertain. Costs certain. Escalation continuing. Control lost. War dynamics self-sustaining now. Question becomes how much destruction occurs before someone accepts reality. Reality is, nobody wins great power wars. Everyone loses. Only question is how much before stopping. International reaction divided and cautious. Europe condemns Chinese aggression, imposes sanctions, sends no military forces, too distant, too vulnerable to Chinese economic retaliation. NATO treaty doesn't cover Taiwan. Support symbolic, not material. Russia remains neutral publicly, quietly pleased seeing American resources diverted. China distracted from Russia's periphery, but fears precedent. If America defends Taiwan militarily, might defend Ukraine similarly. Ambiguous position serving Russian interests. India watches carefully. Border disputes with China unresolved. Chinese distraction opportunity potentially, but nuclear powers. Escalation risks enormous. Remains neutral. Offers mediation. Protects own interests. ASEAN nations terrified. Chinese victory threatens them all. American defeat eliminates security guarantor. Trapped between powers. Cannot choose sides safely. Hedge desperately. Seek neutrality. Hope conflict ends quickly. Cyber warfare dimension often underestimated. Chinese cyber attacks target American infrastructure. Power grids, banking systems, communications networks. Some disruption achieved. American Cyber Command retaliates. Chinese internet partially disrupted. Industrial controls compromised. 3 provinces lose electricity. Cyber domain escalation matches kinetic escalation. Information warfare decisive as physical warfare. Modern conflict occurs simultaneously multiple domains. Space warfare begins quietly. Chinese anti-satellite missiles destroy American reconnaissance satellites. 12 satellites eliminated. American targeting degraded. Chinese ASAT weapons demonstrate capability. Americans retaliate, destroying Chinese satellites. 8 eliminated. Space domain contested. Both sides blind partially. Escalation into space demonstrates no domain sacred. Everything vulnerable. Everything targeted. Submarine warfare intensifies unseen. American Virginia-class submarines hunt Chinese boomers. Nuclear deterrent submarines. Finding them crucial. Preventing nuclear escalation requires knowing locations. Chinese submarines hunt American carriers. Already damaged. Finishing strikes attempted. Submarine warfare silent but deadly. Los Angeles-class sinks Chinese Type 093. 89 crew dead. Chinese Type 039 torpedoes USS Lake Champlain cruiser. 67 sailors killed. Underwater battle vicious. Losses mounting both sides. Nuclear saber rattling begins inevitably. Chinese Foreign Ministry warns nuclear weapons available if regime survival threatened. American president responds nuclear weapons remain option if Chinese escalate to homeland strikes. Both sides nuclear armed, both capable mutual destruction, but also both rational theoretically. Escalation management critical, miscalculation catastrophic. Nuclear threats become negotiating tools. Deterrence works so far, but stress is increasing. Rationality tested under war pressures. Allied logistics demonstrate coalition value. Japanese bases host American reinforcements. South Korean ports supply American ships. Australian intelligence shared freely. Philippine facilities provide forward staging. Singapore allows transit. Coalition logistics network enables American sustainability. Chinese operate alone essentially. Russia provides some support. North Korea offers rhetoric. Pakistan hedges. Iran too distant. Logistics advantage favors America long-term, despite Chinese geographic advantage short-term. Casualty evacuation demonstrates humanitarian difference. American medevac helicopters operate continuously. Hospital ships positioned nearby. Wounded evacuated rapidly. Survival rates high. Chinese casualties often delayed evacuation. Ships sinking with wounded aboard. Medical system overwhelmed. Survival rates lower. Humanitarian concerns secondary to military objectives. Different values producing different casualty outcomes. American system preserves life better. Chinese system accepts losses more readily. Cultural differences visible in medical priorities. Media warfare shapes international opinion. American media shows Chinese aggression, unprovoked invasion, democratic Taiwan threatened, international sympathy generated. Chinese media shows American interference, internal Chinese matter, Taiwan province returning, domestic support solidified, information warfare critical as kinetic warfare, narrative control attempts by both sides, truth first casualty always, propaganda shapes domestic support crucial for sustained operations. Economic warfare dimension expands rapidly. American freezes Chinese assets, $890 billion blocked. Chinese dumps U.S. Treasury bonds, $420 billion sold. Financial warfare erupts parallel to military conflict. Trade suspended completely, supply chains severed. Economic interdependence becomes mutual vulnerability. Both economies contract sharply. Chinese more vulnerable, dependent on exports. American market closed. Economic pressure mounts, but American consumers suffer too. Chinese manufactured goods unavailable. Prices spike. Inflation surges. Economic warfare hurts both sides severely. Technology theft concerns surface. Chinese forces capture American equipment, examining F-18 wreckage, analyzing missile components, studying Aegis systems, technology intelligence goldmine. Americans capture Chinese equipment too, examining Type 052D systems, analyzing PL-15 missiles, studying Chinese electronics. Both sides learn from captured technology. Future capabilities improve through current combat experience. War laboratory for both militaries despite costs. Long-term implications staggering. Regardless of outcome, international order change permanently. American security guarantees questioned. Chinese military capabilities proven, despite losses. Regional powers rearming rapidly. Japan debates nuclear weapons. South Korea increases defense spending. Australia accelerates military buildup. Arms race beginning. Nuclear proliferation risks. Regional instability guaranteed. The war over Taiwan, regardless of military outcome, produces strategic instability lasting decades, creating conditions for future conflicts while resolving nothing fundamentally except demonstrating great power. War costs exceed any conceivable benefits for anyone.